Hello everyone, Adrienne here. So today I'm going to be doing another absinthe review, but first I wanted to do just a little bit of a show and tell. So if you guys follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, you probably would have seen that I got a new tattoo. I'm really excited about this one. I've been planning it pretty much ever since I got my first one, which is my Donizetti tribute tattoo. So obviously both of these tattoos are super meaningful to me, but I'm really just very excited about this new one because new tattoos are really exciting. So I'm just gonna stand up and show it to you guys, and I'll show you a more detailed picture as well. So there's my new tattoo. You can see it. It's beautiful. So you have a snake here. You have these roses that have skulls coming out of it. Sorry if you can see that it's flaking a little bit. Then there's the absinthe glass. It has a little fleur-de-lis symbol. And then the snake's kind of like coiled around the glass. It's really beautiful. And then Charles Baudelaire's signature right there on the absinthe spoon. And then I chose the star absinthe spoon to kind of symbolize reaching for the stars and following your dreams. So yeah, that's my new tattoo. I'm really excited about it. I will say my new artist who made this one is absolutely amazing, and if I do want to get another tattoo sometime down the road, then it's probably going to be with her. Like I said, if you guys are interested in finding out a little bit more information about my tattoo, you can follow me on Instagram, and you will see the post about the tattoo as well as a little bit of backstory around it. So yeah, new tattoo. It's about absinthe and it's awesome. So excited about it. So what we're really here for, today we are here for an absinthe review. I just kind of wanted to lead with that to show you guys because I was so excited. But anyway, absinthe review. So today we're going to be reviewing Pierrot absinthe and Le Parfum Vrai de l'Absinthe Authentique. So the true perfume of authentic absinthe, I think is what that translates to. So this is made in France, obviously, as you can tell from the name of the absinthe, which is Pierrot. And then, okay, it is 65% alcohol. And this is made by the Fouguerolles distillery. And I haven't had anything by this distillery quite yet, but I have heard good things about this distillery. However, equally, I have also heard that this distillery does not light protect their bottles, which is a little bit of cause for concern because I really want the integrity of the product encased within to be protected and for the color to last as long as possible. And typically that does require you to use light protected bottles, but of course this has been hiding in my absinthe cabinet for the amount of time that I have had it. By the way, I got this from Alandia, so in case you're curious about picking up your own bottle. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this one. Like I said, I've heard good things about this distillery. The only other thing that I'm concerned about, I'm not sure how much you can see here, but there's a little bit of sediment kind of floating on the inside since I'm kind of moving this bottle around a little bit. I also found this a little bit concerning. It kind of looks like an absinthe snow globe. I did bring this up with the owner of Alandia, and they did say, oh, well, you know, a little bit of sediment's not that big of a deal because it would indicate like natural coloring, which this is very obviously naturally colored. You can tell it's beautiful. I was actually stunned by how stunning the color was, like how gorgeous the color was. It almost looks like Jade Nouvelle Orleans, but just a touch lighter. So really beautiful color. But again, I'm concerned about that sediment. Do you guys see that at all? Do you see it? Hopefully you do. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about, because like I said, I was slightly concerned about that. I'll see if I can use a little bit of a filter to see if I can get some of that stuff out, or at least keep it from compromising my review here. So with all those disclaimers being said, I'm going to read a little bit about Pierrot absinthe. Okay, so this is from Alandia's website. Here's what they say. Absinthe Pierrot was a popular brand in the great era of absinthe. A white clown, Pierrot means clown in French, was the eye-catching symbol for this brand. Absinthe Pierrot was initially planned as a niche product, aiming mainly at the Parisian market by surfing on the world of entertainment, circus, and the arts. So, okay, interesting. Doesn't really talk very much about the makeup of this. Okay, here we go. The dominant aniseed is shaken up by the combination of fennel and grand wormwood. All good things. That is the proper holy trinity of absinthe. That's what we want. This is all boosted by Melissa Calamus. I'm not sure what calamus is, but sounds interesting. I'm intrigued. And coriander, while angelica roots add the finishing touch. Absinthe Pierrot has a totally natural coloring thanks to a predominance of petite wormwood. Ooh, 2 varieties of wormwood. That's promising. Enhanced by hyssop, melissa, and nettle on the finish. Okay. So I'm still excited about trying this brand. However, if the distillery owners are watching, there are 2 things that I'm concerned about. One, the bottle's not light protected. If you do care about preserving the integrity of the product as well as preserving the color as much as you possibly can, I would highly recommend, if it is within your means, of course, to switch to light protected bottles, because it will inevitably make your product last a lot longer. And then number 2, I'm also a little bit concerned about the sediment. If there's some way that you can filter that out or keep it from coming into the bottle somehow, that would be lovely. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do necessarily. I'm just bringing up my concerns as an absinthe consumer and as someone who gives very informative reviews on absinthe here on my YouTube channel. So, all of that being said, let's go ahead and check out this new absinthe in my collection that I'm very excited to try. So, we'll see how this goes. Alright guys, so here we are ready to taste Absinthe Pierrot. I'm super excited about it. Again, I've heard good things about this absinthe. I'm really excited about the color. Again, I'm a little bit concerned about that sediment, but hopefully it's not that big of a deal and maybe it will be corrected in the future. So let's go ahead and give it a pour and see how it looks. Ooh, that smells really good already. Okay, a little bit of sediment came out in the glass, but that's okay. I'm hoping some of that sediment catches on camera so you guys can see it. I would say that, apart from the sediment, it's actually really lovely, like a really beautiful color. If you put these in front of me and asked me to compare this with maybe J. Nouvel Orleans, it would be very difficult for me to tell which was which just by looking at it. So for color, I want to give it 4.5. I'm just taking that half of a full point away just because of the sediment, but everything else about it is really, really beautiful. So that's encouraging that the color is absolutely gorgeous. It's just, again, the sediment that is freaking me out a little bit. So yes, 4.5 stars for the appearance. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the louche and see how it looks. Today I'm going to be using a brouilleur. This time I'm going to be using a metal one as opposed to my glass one. This one actually fits on my torsade glass, so that's what I'm going to be using. Putting the ice in like you do. Okay, it's... Ooh! Whoa! Guys, do you even see that? Do you see how quickly that louched? That was beautiful. Wow. Okay, a little bit more water. That line at the top is not quite gone yet. There it goes. Okay, beautiful. All right, so louche, that is impressive. That is absolutely gorgeous. You can see that it formed right away. Oh, it smells really good. Really thick louche, really impenetrable color there. It's beautiful. Really lovely, light olive color with just a touch of blue. Really beautiful. So louche, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it 5 stars for louche. That is really beautiful. Whoa, I got really excited about that. So it looks like my camera is about to overheat, So while I'm getting my equipment reorganized here, I am going to reposition the camera, well, at least my tripod, and then charge my camera a little bit so it doesn't get too overheated, and then I should be back pretty soon. Alright guys, we are back with our glass of Pierrot absinthe. So I'm really excited about it. I cannot believe how thick and impenetrable this louche is. So the louche and the color are really encouraging. Again, I was just a little bit concerned about the sediment, but it seems that the overall quality, like from the color as well as from the louche, really indicates like how high quality it is. So I'm not as concerned as I previously was about the sediment, but it's just a little bit of a no-no. So just something to keep in mind. So now we're going to evaluate the aroma and see how it is. I'm pretty excited to see what's up here. Ooh. I'll be honest, like that really reminds me of Jade Terminus Oxygené, like the way that it smells. Of course, to be fair, they do use some similar botanicals. I will give it that. However, just the structure of the aroma and the fragrance and the presence of the Holy Trinity in there is just lovely. Just, it's spicy. Like, I'm just gonna be straight up. It is a little bit spicy, but that's kind of something that I'm really enjoying about it. You can really taste the I believe they said coriander in there. I don't think there's coriander in Jade Terminus Oxygené, but like I said, just the structure of the aroma of this one reminds me of Jade Terminus Oxygené, so that's encouraging. I'll be honest, I would mistake this for a Jade if I didn't know what brand this was. I'm just gonna be straight up and honest here. Wow. So, all the more reason for you to light protect your bottles, guys. I'm watching you. Yeah, aroma, I'm going to give it 4 stars. Definitely correct. It's complex. It's lovely. Definitely smells like it's a traditional absinthe. And from what I understand, this is supposed to be a recreation of a pre-ban absinthe brand from the Belle Epoque era. So, you know, that's really exciting. And I really love it when brands take the time to analyze and discover what makes a pre-ban absinthe brand. So kudos to that. Kudos to them. Yeah, it's spicy, correct, really lovely, very herbaceous, very fresh. Good amount of mint in there. So actually I'm going to up it to like 4.5 stars. That's really nice. And yes, I'm taking notes because sometimes I forget about the numbers that I give. Okay, so we're going to go in for a taste. I'm a little bit nervous, but like excited nervous, if that makes any sense. So, all right. So anyway, santé, and please drink responsibly as always. Ooh. 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 Okay. Ooh. That's... wow. Wow. That is really spicy. And it's very wormwood forward. I'm getting a little bit of like a basil... a little bit of a basil aftertaste, I think. Tiny bit, but that could be the petite wormwood in there that I'm tasting. And I'm getting a little bit of like a rosemary kind of flavor. I'm really tasting that coriander. That coriander is really coming through and making itself known. Surprisingly, by taste, it's really not emphasizing much of the Holy Trinity. It could be that if I added sugar to this, maybe the anise would come out a little bit more, but I'm definitely getting the fennel. I'm definitely getting the 2 different species of wormwood that they used in this formula, and I'm really impressed. I don't like it quite as much as Jade Terminus Oxygené because it's not quite as sweet, but boy, it's still really lovely. Like, wow. Really lovely, really spicy, really complex, really fresh. I'm just going to say it for flavor. I'm just going to go ahead and give it like 4.5 stars. That is amazing. Yeah, it's definitely a little different. You can definitely tell it is trying really hard to be a recreation of a pre-ban absinthe, but in a good way, of course, in the best possible way. Like I said, I get really, really excited when brands take their craftsmanship and respect absinthe's history very, very seriously and want to bring it back to the position of respectability that it was back in the pre-ban era. And this is a really good example of that. So this is absolutely gorgeous. Thick opalescent louche. Like, here, you guys want to see the freaking light test here? Look at that. Look at that. You cannot see any light coming through at all. Do you see that? Look at that. No light coming through. That is so encouraging. This is what you want out of your absinthe. You do not want to see any light like penetrating like that. Like, that's so great. Maybe a little bit around the edges, but like, that's around the edges. Come on. But wow, that is so refreshing and spicy and lovely. Just like, it starts out sweet and then it lures you in with the spice, and the spice kind of like bites your lip a little bit, which I kind of like. And then it finishes like spicy sweet. It's really, really interesting. Like, that's really fresh. Actually, yeah, I want to say it's a little bit more wormwood flavor than I was expecting, but when I film a TikTok review of this, then I'm definitely going to use sugar. I wouldn't necessarily say that for an expert it needs sugar, but I would say that if my husband were to give this a try, I would recommend giving it to him with sugar. So if you have someone who's interested in trying absinthe and wants something that is like top tier, beautiful, and faithfully represents pre-ban absinthe. Again, for the record, I have had pre-ban absinthe. I had Pierrot Novice from 1900. Oh god, I'm drooling. I've had pre-ban absinthe from 1900. I have had post-ban absinthe made in Spain in 1930. Both of those things are really good examples of what pre-ban absinthe was like. I've had both of those things, so I have an idea of what it's supposed to taste like, and this is... I want to say this is a little bit closer to the Spanish 1930 absinthe that I tried. But nevertheless, it is made according to pre-ban standards. That's really important. Oh gosh, this smells so good. Like, it's so spicy when you smell it, and you just get that whisper of anise when you smell it. Like, not... It doesn't hit you in the face with anise, but I have a feeling if I were to give this to my husband, I would definitely do so with sugar, because Mr. Sweet Tooth over there. It starts out sweet, and then it goes spicy, and then it finishes like spicy and sweet again with a good tingle. So that's great. I kind of want to do that Vincent Price thing and be like, a draft from paradise. Yeah, okay. I'm going to be bold here. I'm gonna withhold my complete judgment until I've had this with sugar, but I want to say this is probably my second or third favorite absinthe. Jade Terminus Oxygene, Jesus Christ, I can't fucking talk because I'm so excited. Jade Terminus Oxygene is my absolute favorite absinthe ever in the history of time. This comes pretty damn close, but it offers a little bit more spice, and it backs off on the anise a little bit, even though the description says that it's very anise forward. So I'm really curious to see how this will be with sugar. Really curious. And then for mouthfeel, it definitely has a really nice, like, tingly kind of, I want to almost say medicinal mouthfeel. It's really interesting. Coats the inside of the mouth really well. And again, it made me drool. So obviously if it makes me drool, it's a good one. And this one really took me by surprise. This is actually a lot better than I was expecting it to be, because again, I was worried about the sediment, but I'm not as concerned about it anymore. But I still want to bring it to the brand's attention that sediment and, you know, having your bottles light protected, those are the two things I'm most concerned about. So mouthfeel, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. Like, that's really amazing. So if you want to try something like Jade, but not at the price of a Jade, then maybe something like this is something that you could go for. Like, I'm not kidding. If Jade is a little bit out of your budget, but you want something delicious, I would say give this a try. Again, if you were to put this and Jade Terminus Oxygene next to each other, I think I'd have a hard time telling them apart. But I think what would be the indicator of their difference would be that Jade Terminux Oxygene is a little bit more anise and Holy Trinity forward than this one. But this one's a little bit more spicy, and it's definitely emphasized by being a little bit more wormwood forward. But God, it's really good. It's really good. Okay guys, so I'm really impressed by Pierrot Absinthe. I really want to give my kudos to the owner of this distillery. It's obvious that you put a lot of hard work into this, but I'm just bringing things to your attention that I'm concerned about as a consumer. So if they do get the chance to see this, great. I really hope they take my advice, but of course they can leave it. They've been doing this for a number of years. I don't want to be that person that tells them what to do, but I just want to bring up my concerns as a consumer. So that was my review of Pierrot Absinthe Superieur. I'm really excited about this one. So if you are curious about trying this one, go ahead and go on Alandia. You can find it there, and I will leave a 10% off coupon code for you guys so that you can get a little bit of a discount. So overall, I would give this probably 4.5 stars as an overall rating for how good it is. So all that being said, I think I'm going to enjoy the rest of this glass all by myself and before my camera overheats again. So thank you so much everyone for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do if you want more absinthe content and goth music reviews and gothic literature reviews. I'd be happy to have you here. And to my patrons, thank you so much for your support every single month. I really appreciate it. And to everyone else, I love you and you're amazing, and I will see you guys later. Bye! That being said, if the distillery owners... Shit.